I don't really thank you for talking about people who think that having the correct political opinions equal being a good person. Recently, for a while, I haven't been able to fully understand why I hate listening to progressives talk about morality, but I think that's the reason. Yeah, that's something that I noticed more and more and more. But that took me a while to learn because I would assume, because I've always assumed this. I've always assumed this, that like if you have a certain set of political opinions, your personal moral beliefs are going to stem from that. But I'm starting to find out more and more that that's not even close to true. Like I find a lot of progressives that are dog shit humans. Or there's like all these memes now, about like like alt-righters or far-right people, like even racist people, are super welcoming as long as you're racist. Like as long as you're willing to be racist too. You can even be racist against white people, but as long as you're racist, like you're invited to the alt-right cookout. And that's like really interesting to me. Like in some ways, it feels like certain groups on the right that are historically very intolerant are more tolerant. But it's not. I'm not saying it's like a one-to-one like that. Like, oh, the right is better about being tolerant than the left. I don't mean it that simplistically. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like people's moral dealings with others personally always comes or leads to different political views. That's interesting. I don't know why that is. That bothers me, but. That's something that I try to keep in mind religiously, though, especially in like my business dealings. Hopefully, I illustrated that. I'm trying not to. I try not to jerk myself up, but like I think like my business dealings with everybody have been like super ethical. Like I think if I told somebody that I was a socialist and then I showed them how I dealt with people in a business sense, I think that they would be like, oh yeah, this guy's definitely a socialist, even though I'm absolutely not a super capitalist.
Your mom is so massive. I took a picture of her last Christmas, and it's still printing.
Yo, Dest. Hope I'm not.
Stop saying defer. It's differ. That differs from this. That differs. Wait. Am I saying it wrong? Read Nocturnal Nick.
Differ.
Differ.
I wish libertarians or Republicans actually attempted to clean up their own backyards like Destiny or the left does. I can watch a whole panel of them never batted. Got the lunatic on their end.
Sure, joking about raping kids is funny. When Destiny says something, we joke about Destiny being an absentee father. Suddenly that's over the line. We apparently should have joked about Destiny raping his child instead. Unironically, yeah. There's a difference. If you want to joke about me fucking my kid, that's a little bit weird. But like, it's clearly a joke at that point. But I don't know if I have like an advanced understanding of insults or if I have an autistic understanding of insults or if you guys are just young and you weren't around on the internet. I feel like there are so many things in my brain for like, there's a very strict way that insulting people and making fun of people and all this works. There's a very like, but it's very rational and reasonable and laid out like really well. But I feel like nobody understands it. So like, if you were to come at me and be like, and make jokes about like, oh, like Nathan's skin, is it smoother than Melina's? It's like, that's a pretty edgy joke, my dude. But we both know that I don't fuck my kid. Well, hopefully we do. So like, yeah, that's an edgy joke. But when you call me like an absentee father, you're not joking there. That's not a joke. That's just you like trying to dig in as personally as you can and attack me. So but I feel like when I say that, I feel like people think that, like people will hear that and think, oh my God, no, that's because you guys just have like these weird hierarchies of like, if you joke about that, it's wrong. If you joke about that, it's wrong. But like, I don't see it that way at all. It's so much more involved in that. Like, I think it would be more mean if I were to take a hypothetical friend, let's say let's say that I'm friends with Alabrel. Well, yeah, let's say I'm friends with Alabrel. I think if I could make two jokes, one is like, oh, what's up, kitty rapist? Or I could say, what's up, you fat fuck? I think that the fat fuck joke is meaner than the kitty rapist one. Because when I use kitty rapist as a joke, that's obviously a joke. I don't think he raped children. But that's a way more serious allegation than calling somebody fat. That's not even that serious, right? But it's different because the fat one is I'm attacking you on something and I believe that. I think you're fat and I'm going to attack you on it. But the kitty rapist one is like, that's just a meme. Obviously, I don't think you're kitty rapist. But yeah, I feel like if I were to lay out like these rules online and I was like, well, this is how I view insults, it makes so much sense to me. I feel like I understand it almost intuitively at this point. Maybe because I grew up on like a really edgy internet, but for other people, it blows their minds. But then on my end, it blows my mind. Because like for instance, people will say like that Vanilla Opinions was tweeting earlier, like Destiny thinks it's okay to joke about kids. And then I'm like, okay, well, you joked about calling a gay Republican running for office a fag. And people are like, yeah, pedophilia is way more extreme than gay jokes. And it's like, I'm not engaging in pedophilia, my friend. If I was actually kids, then you'd be right. But you are engaging in homophobia. That's the difference. I'm engaging in like an edgy joke that's not targeting anybody or any group of people, except maybe pedophiles. You are actually being homophobic. So you calling a Republican like candidate running for lawmaker position a fag is infinitely worse than me making an edgy pedophile joke. Then, like, these aren't even on the same level. But that's like immediately, like intuitively obvious to me. But for a lot of people, or I'm sorry, Democrat, not Republican. Sorry. That's like, for me, that's like immediately, obviously intuitive. But then for other people, it's, yeah, I guess it's like, that's way out there. They don't understand that, or they don't agree with that, I should say, at all. Yeah. But then I also feel like this is a thing where like, maybe in like the dating advice I give, because people point out to this, I'll say things like, it's really good to like, to be able to push back against a date. I think girls like that a lot. You know, if I go on a date, she tells me she likes a certain band, I might say like, well, that band is shit. Let's argue about it. But I'm never going to show up like to a new date and be like, oh my God, like, why would you wear that dress? You look huge. Because like, holy fuck, well, hold on. That's an extreme, you're hitting something that like, that's like a fundamentally different level of comment. Right? That's like a totally different level of comment. Or I might make fun of somebody's like wacky hair because of their hair. They can change that. But I'm not going to say like your nose is huge. That's your like, and I guess like when some people hear this, they think that like, okay, making some fun of somebody's hair or making fun of somebody's nose is like the same thing. They're not. These are dimensions,
Simon Says.
universes apart of what you're talking about. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I see things like this and it's like, sure, joking about raping is funny when Destiny says it. When we joke about Destiny and FC Todd, it's something that's over the line. I'm not I'm joking about raping kids. You're not joking about me being an absentee father, right? That's the difference. But yeah, I don't know. I also think the hand wringing is really annoying. I'm gonna keep tweeting edgy jokes. Like, and I brought this up to that I brought that up to the the Sunday guy, something Sunday. Fuck, I forget his full name. President Sunday, that like there's more hand wringing about harm for my jokes than actual harm for my jokes. I think I'm fully convinced of that at this point. People keep saying things like your jokes are highly problematic. No, what do you mean? It's not the fact that my jokes are problematic. It's that everybody's saying they're problematic. But like, am I making pedophiles? Do we really think that's happening? That when I joke about fucking kids, somebody in my chat's like, you know what? Fucking A, dude. I'm gonna try some 12-year-old student. Like, come on, do we really think this is happening? Get the fuck out of here. That's not the case. I don't agree with you. Now, if you want to say like, hey, these jokes are too edgy for me, yeah, that's fine. That's great. But if you're saying like Destiny's endorsing pedophilia, mate, shut the fuck up. Back the fuck up, okay? Unless you're gonna say that every single comedian ever has like endorsed pedophilia when they made a joke about it, okay? Get the fuck out of here. But it's probably because a lot of people simply value the severity of the insults.
He is not around enough to do his kid.
Nice, true. It's probably because a lot of people simply value the severity of insults in terms of how bad something were if it was true, as opposed to how personal and possible it is. Yeah, maybe, I guess, but
Do you think an uncanny valley exists on the spectrum of joke edginess?
who knows? Why isn't it okay to joke about something that's true? Because when you joke about something that's true, people don't know if you're being serious or not. That's the issue, right? That's why a black person can make jokes about black people and even use the N-word. But when a white person does it, it hits differently because you know the black person is probably not racist against black people. But when the white person does it, you're not sure. That's the difference, right? Is you don't know if it's true or not when another person says it. When an out-group person says it, you don't know if it's true or not. But there can be in-group people that aren't that group that you're making fun of if it's like a friend. This goes back to my view on like private jokes versus public jokes, right? Is like
this chat wouldn't say anything.
I think it's different when you make jokes with friends. The reason why you make those jokes with friends is because you know they don't actually believe in the things that you're talking about. Like if you're making edgy jokes, they're not actually racist. They don't actually hate you. They don't actually do that, you know? I think the criticism, at least from your community, is a lot of people want to see you interacting with and debating more mainstream guests, and these jokes seem to be a hindrance to that. People say that, but they don't really think that. They just say that because they're like hand-wringing. The reality is that the most damaging stuff that I've ever said or done is going to be stuff that is like politically charged in nature. I don't think I've ever lost a convo with a guest because of like logs from me 10 years ago saying 15-year-olds at events are hot, be careful, or because I've made like pedophilia jokes. It's going to be because of the comments I made about BLM, or me getting banned from Twitch because of transphobia. Those things are going to go far and away 50 million times more than like me making an edgy joke. I don't think I've ever lost, and I've lost a fair bit of sponsors over stuff. It's never been about like, oh, we saw this edgy joke you made on Twitter or shit like that. It's always been because of like, here's like a political thing that you were involved in, and that's why. Like the Mark Gudgel stuff wasn't because I made too many pedophile jokes. It was the BLM clip that blew up. I got kicked off the team for calling the Asian guy. That blew up. Shouldn't have done that. It's never been because of like an edgy joke. It's been because of like a political thing I've kind of been, or like a ban that I've gotten from something. Yeah. Like even there were a couple sponsors that I had lined up through my agency for a couple of things, and I lost 2 of those because of not because of any edgy jokes. I made a million edgy jokes. It was because I got banned from Twitch for hate speech, and they were hesitant to pull the trigger on those sponsors because of that. So I lost 2 people because of that.
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
Or like when I was doing the Rittenhouse thing, with that Rittenhouse stuff that blew up is when I lost a sponsor for the for that one game I was playing, the D&D game I was playing. But yeah, it's never been because of just edgy jokes. It's been because of like political stuff. But okay, I love you guys. It's been fun. Stay safe. We'll go host our
Manhood always has been and always will
Sneeko
be.
buddy.
The ability to control